Here's another word problem from solving right triangles using basic trig ratios. From the top of a cliff 300 feet high, the angle of depression of the top and the bottom of a tower are observed to be pi over 6 and pi over 4. Find the height of the tower. The most important thing to solve any trig word problem is to have a properly drawn diagram. The straight lines must be drawn as straight lines. Do not draw the straight lines as curves. Your diagram should be large enough to show all the important details. So let me first begin this problem by drawing a diagram and by showing all the given details. First, I will need the level ground, a horizontal surface. Let me assume that this is that level ground. And from there we have a cliff. I will only show the vertical height of the cliff. Let me assume that the cliff is somewhere here. Let's assume that this is the tallest point of the cliff. From that tallest point, you can observe a tower. Now I need to draw the tower. Now we can begin showing the details. From the top of a cliff 300 feet high, so that's the first piece of information we have, the height of the cliff. Height of the cliff is 300 feet. Let me show that first. This is equal to 300 feet. The angle of depression of the top and bottom of a tower are observed to be pi over 6 and pi over 4. The angle of depression is measured from horizon. Therefore, let me also show the horizon from the top of the cliff. Let's assume that this is the horizon. Now I need to show the angle of depression to the top and to the bottom of the tower. Like this, I will show the angle of depression to the top of the tower. And like this, I will show the angle of depression to the bottom of the tower. Now I need to show the given angles. Angle of depression to the top of the tower is pi over 6. That means the angle right here is equal to pi over 6. The angle of depression to the bottom of the tower is pi over 4. That means the large angle from this horizon to this side is pi over 4. Now we need to find the height of the tower. Let me label the height of the tower. This is the height of the tower. We will label this as h. We need to find the value of h. Not that I have shown all the information given. Now it's time to understand the geometry of this figure. We know that this angle right here should be equal to 90 degrees. Let me show it as that. This angle is 90 degrees. Now, can you tell me the value of the angle right here? That angle should be equal to the angle right here. Why? Because this red line right here is the horizontal line, and also this black line in the bottom is a horizontal line. That means those two lines are parallel. Therefore, this angle should be equal to whatever the angle right here. Therefore, this angle should be equal to pi over 4. If that angle is pi over 4, what can you say about the angle right here? Since this angle right here is equal to 90 degrees, the remaining angle should also be equal to pi over 4. That indicates that this right triangle is an isosceles right triangle. Or in other words, we have this side to be equal to this side. Since we know that the height of the cliff is 300 feet, the length between this point right here and the bottom of the tower should also be equal to 300. Now we need to find the height of the tower, which is h. How do we find that? Now what I'm going to do is I'm going to draw a hypothetical vertical line from the top of the tower until it meets that red horizontal line. Now the angle right here should also be equal to 90 degrees. Earlier we saw that this distance is 300 feet. Therefore, the distance right here should also be equal to 300 feet because it has become a rectangle. Now we can quite easily find the height right here. What should be that height? That height is equal to the complete height right here minus the height of the tower. Since the complete height is 300, the height right here should be equal to 300 minus h. Now I can write down an equation for tangent pi over 6 using the triangle right here. For that triangle, if I write down an equation for tangent pi over 6, the opposite is going to be equal to 300 minus h. The adjacent is going to be equal to 300. Let me write down that equation. Tangent pi over 6. This should be equal to the numerator 300 minus h divided by the denominator 300. Now by solving this equation, we can quite easily find the value of h. We know that tangent pi by 6 is equal to 1 over square root 3. This is equal to 300 minus h divided by 300. Now how would you solve that? We can quite easily multiply both sides of this equation by 300. When we do that, you can see that the 300s will be cancelled from the right hand side, and on the left hand side, since the 300 right here can also be written as 3 times 100, that divided by square root 3 will be equal to 100 times square root 3. That's equal to 300 minus h. Now I will add h to both sides, then that h will come to the left hand side, and then I will subtract 100 square root 3 from both sides. Then on the right hand side, I can simply write this as 300 minus 100 square root 3. We may simplify this a little bit more. H equals, to simplify it a little bit more, we can factor out 100 times square root 3. Then the first term will have another square root 3 and we will have a minus 1. Now this is our final answer for this problem. Thank you so much.